Of shows with business owners that puts them in front of a global audience. And in behind those shows is a whole range of things, from digital magazines to social media to blogging to email to lead generation, just a whole range of things. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Everyday Business Show. I'm your host, Toni Lontis, and with me today is a fantastic lady that we're going to talk to you about some techie things. And I love it when girls get to talk about tech. But before we get on with the interview, just a reminder, if you're listening live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, please drop us a line, say hello, drop us a comment, subscribe. We love to hear from you. We would love to know your thoughts. A reminder too that anything that we talk about in the show today will be part of the show notes that go attached with the show wherever you are watching it. Now, there's multiple places that you can hear and watch this show. You can hear it as a podcast on all podcast platforms across the planet. You can watch it as a show on Toni TV, on Binge Networks USA, and on smart TVs across the planet, including LG, Samsung, Roku, and Amazon Fire. You can also now see us on Everyday Women's Network, our very own network for female-centric content across the globe. And each and every week before we get on with the show, there's an important recognition of the part that our Aboriginal ancestors play in the development of Australia's cultural identity. So today, I want to respectfully acknowledge the people of the Yugambeh language region area on the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and broadcast. And I want to pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging, and all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders here watching or listening today. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Now, today's guest, the title of a show is called Get Ahead of the Game, The Advantages of AI for Small Business Owners. I'm going to have a fascinating conversation with the lovely Rochelle Werrett. But before I introduce her, here's what you need to know. So Rochelle is an accomplished entrepreneur and consultant with a passion for helping women in business in particular. She is the founder of Oh She Did, an online tech consultancy that specializes in assisting women in improving their online presence. With extensive experience in a corporate and small business, Rochelle helps hone your skills with her knowledge and wisdom. And her skills are founded on the areas of online system process development, information technology, human resources, payroll, and bookkeeping. In addition to running her own business, Rochelle also serves as a board of director secretary for a community bank. With her ability to make technology seem easy and her commitment to empowering business owners to have online assets, Rochelle is an ideal consultant for anyone looking to improve their online presence. I also wanted to share with you today Rochelle's vision, mission, and purpose, because I think they're just wonderful. And we don't often get the opportunity to share this. So Rochelle's vision is to help small business owners grow their business by creating an online presence. Her mission is to support small business owners in their online journey, empowering them to fearlessly work with technology using her knowledge to help you. And her purpose is to grow online business presence for knowledge and profit. And one of her favorite quotes is, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones that you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. And that quote is by Mark Twain. Welcome to the show, Rochelle.
Hi, Toni. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited today because Rochelle is passionate about tech, and I don't call myself a geek, but I am married to a geek, and I have to work with loads and loads of tech that I find quite challenging from time to time. So, Rochelle, that quote, what does it mean to you?
Well, I've liked this quote for a very long time, and when I first found the quote was probably in my early 20s, and at the time, I travelled and I worked and lived overseas and travelled the world and went and lived in Taiwan and taught conversational English when I was 21 and all sorts of things, because I just needed to see the world and I needed to travel and put myself in these situations and just learned and grew from them. And so I've got this passion for travel, and I still do. But
yes,
as time's gone on, I've found that there's a very travel and business, there's so many analogies and things that are so similar, and about stepping out of your comfort zone and learning new things and meeting new people, and so it works both ways, for my passion for travel, but also for business and putting ourselves out there. And I think as women, sometimes that's a lot harder too.
I agree. It is most definitely harder.
Do that. And I sort of went through the stage, like being a mum, like, oh, I need to work, I need to look after the kids, and that's my job. But I think we'll probably discuss a bit later, but with my second child, I was on maternity leave from my job, and I needed to do something for my mind, and that's how I started learning about this online world.
A big world it is, growing rapidly at the moment. So you went from a corporate career into a business for yourself. Can you tell us what was the thoughts that were going on? Why did it end up being this wonderful company called Oh She Did?
So I've always wanted to have a business, but I guess when I was younger, I was so passionate about travel. It was all about quickly getting a job, earning the money, and spending it all on travel. And then with my second child, when you're feeding, you've got plenty of time on your mind. And so I actually started a business selling children's party packages. So I would deliver like a whole party setup and things like that. And as part of that, it evolved into actually selling children's costumes. But I learnt or taught myself how to build websites, and that was when social media was starting. And at the time, like, you could put one post on social media, all your followers would see it, and I could make $500 just by putting a post up online, where, we know that's no longer
the same
no longer the case. So I've seen the change, and slowly, so I worked part-time after I went back to work, and then on the side I also started playing with businesses and learning. And then eventually in 2020 I decided I need to do this. I need to, I wasn't...
Make it a
thing. And so from 2020 I started doing that, and last year I actually quit my normal job. And so that was a big process to come to that, to leave that and security of that job. I was there for 17 years, so it was a big goal. And so July last year that was gone. So since July last year I've been doing this. And I guess the tech side, because I just got more and more interested in it as time went by, and in my corporate job as well, I'd sort of moved into the technology area. So that's how my world evolved. And also my husband works in tech as well, and I've got two boys who are mad on tech too. So it sort of runs in the family.
And it can be, whilst it can be very daunting, it can also be incredibly helpful for busy business owners. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But who do you like to help the most? What sort of client gives you the most joy in helping?
So that's a tough question, but because you've got some people that just need a little bit of a hand, just a little bit of a nudge and guidance and direction, and to get there, whereas you've got others that are so busy and you just do it all for them. So yeah, I do a bit of both ends of the scale, and but it's nice that people like get things working and get moving, and it's like, oh, okay, next thing, one step at a time, set one thing up, then move on, and it's just good to see people grow and learn from what I can help them with.
Fantastic. So let's talk about getting businesses online. I would have thought in this day and age that most businesses have an online presence, but there's still businesses that don't have a website, etc., etc. Why should all business consider having an online presence?
If anyone's like me, which might be your ideal market, I often share this story that I wanted this, my vacuum cleaner died, and I wanted a new vacuum cleaner. So I couldn't be bothered going down, driving around, looking at all the different stores. I went online, I found the product I wanted. I wanted something specific and a specific brand. So then I went and searched fairly local who had this product and the price. And the price is not always the deciding factor, but I found the product, I ordered it online, paid $10 delivery, and the next day it was on my doorstep. And if that business was not online, they would not have had my,
Correct.
I wouldn't have been their customer. So, I mean, that's just one little example, but even research, before I go to a restaurant, I'll often go have a look at the menu. Oh, what can I eat when I go there? What's my favorite? And I can start thinking about it. And just if people don't have that presence, everyone's living online and finding everything online and paying and buying, and
and that's the thing too. I was a very early adopter of online shopping because I love to browse. I love options. I love to research, and you can do all that online without leaving home. And so one of the first things I, as a working mum and wife, was online grocery shopping, to be able to just get what you need and have it delivered the very next day to your front door without having to leave. Was just absolutely delightful from my perspective.
Lovely,
and then discovering clothes. You can buy clothes, you can buy all sorts of things online. I rarely shop in person in a retail place, which I think is lovely. But a lot of my friends go, oh, that's so scary. Like, why would you? And I'm like, it's really quite safe now to purchase online, isn't it, Rochelle? There's lots of protections for both the consumer and the business in terms of online purchases. And it's very seamless, isn't it? Like your story about the vacuum cleaner. Found what you wanted, ordered it, came the next day. Like, that's the simplicity of what technology can deliver for a business.
And it's that time-saving factor as well. Like that vacuum place is about a 45-minute drive away. So, they're back, all of that sort of stuff, like for $10. Like,
I know. And that's the thing too. They say, oh, but what about, you're paying for delivery? Well, actually, I can't get in my car and drive to the grocery shop, pick all the groceries out, unload, put it through the cash register, reload it, put it in the car for $10. Like, I can't do it.
You're making money in your business. That's, I think, and that's, people need to start reframing. Well, if I stayed in my business and just did a little bit more or whatever, or you're saving. The cost of petrol as well. Like,
I know. Yes. There's all of those things. I'm a total online geek. I know the best places to get the best products in whatever genre they are. And from holidays to groceries, I have got the places that I go. And if those businesses didn't have an online presence, I wouldn't know about them. I wouldn't shop from them. It would be their loss, wouldn't it?
It would. And I think the other thing is, like yesterday, I wanted something from a health food shop.
Yeah.
And so I found the supply, and then I looked up which health food shops supply it because I wanted it yesterday. So but then I could go straight to that one instead of driving around between them to find that specific product. So that's the other use. Yes, you can do all the research, and even like, you know, like your Targets and Kmart's and things.
Yes.
You can go see if they've actually got the stock, if it's something you want, instead of driving there and going there and then they don't have it in stock and that sort of thing. So there's the other side. You don't necessarily have to have,
you know, I remember when the kids were little, you'd be searching for a particular toy for their birthday or something. And of course, we didn't have the internet back then, but it would have made it so much simpler to see where the latest toy was and who had it in stock and go directly there versus, you know, having to go from store to store to store to find this particular thing that my son wanted for his birthday. Yeah, I know, they must have. Like, Rochelle, AI, what is it? Why is it important? And what should we know?
Okay, so for those that don't know, AI is artificial intelligence, and it's been slowly coming in over the last few years, but in the last couple of months, it is just, if you've been online, it's starting to take over everything. And I've seen some people say, oh, I'm not having anything to do with that. Well, I'm sorry, it's here. You won't be able to avoid it. It will permeate into every part. You won't even know. It's part of everyday life now, and just
I think it's exciting.
It is exciting, Rochelle. And what that can do for a small business. Every day there are hundreds and hundreds of more products being released to help you in your business. It's actually quite overwhelming. I've been trying to research lots of them, and it's just like, oh, more. Like some of the ones can, if you've got an article that you've written, you can pop that in there. And it can offer suggestions. It can give you catchy titles.
Rewrite it.
It can write it for you. I'm not 100% confident with what it writes for you. I'm still learning, but it gives you a great outline for you to tweak and put your own voice onto it. One of the good ones that I've been playing with is called... oh, now my mind goes blank. I'll have to think. But it's basically...
there are so many of them, and I keep getting distracted because I love this stuff. And I'll go on and try out a particular platform that comes via a newsletter, and I'm subscribed to tech newsletters because I love the stuff. And you'll go on and go, oh my goodness, look what this little platform or this little app can do. And I'm just like, oh wow. So and there's lots of variety, isn't there, Rochelle?
Yeah, so the one I was just thinking about is called Midjourney. And it creates images for you. So basically you learn how to type prompts, which can be as simple or as complex as you like, and it creates you these amazing individual graphics, and it gives you 4 options, or you can regenerate and create some more. It's just like, wow.
I have to confess, I was playing with a program called Pipio, which enables voice to text with avatar video. So you can create little videos with an avatar, voice to text. And you can even, the company can actually create an avatar based on your existing interviews. So for me, I've got loads and loads of videos and loads of shows. And so I've just started chatting to them about what creating my personal avatar would look like, so that I don't have to do as much, so that you can create avatars for sales letters, you can create avatars for social media, you can create that speak and talk and say things the way that you say them. And I'm just delving into this. I'm like, I'm going to have to stop now. I have to actually do some other work, because the capacity of what they can do really excites me.
Yeah, and I think there's lots of fun things, but also practically there's a lot of good things as well. Like a couple that I've seen through Zoom and apps that work through Zoom or also through Microsoft Teams is that, so like a meeting or an interview like this, it can be recorded and it will go and write what happened, what was discussed, who said what, and give you a summary. And so there's basically your minutes of your meeting or something like that. And then it sends it out to all the participants, and it's just
yes. There's another one that Otter is one of those ones that does the meeting notes and bits and pieces. And I think it was earlier this week there was another email saying that they'd updated it to do a whole range of other things, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'll have to go back and have a look at that. But it does help small business because often it's just one or two people doing a broad range of things. And if you can incorporate AI, tech, and automation, that will free up your time, won't it, Rochelle?
It will. And it will save you, if you can spend your time actually maybe getting more clients, growing your business, that sort of thing, that's what, is probably more enjoyable than mundane, typing up the minutes for the meeting or reading and watching your content to edit it. It's amazing. And one that I saw the other day was that if you have many clients and you want to send a video to them, the core of the video is the same, but it will actually use you, and it will actually say, oh, hi, Toni, or hi, Rochelle, or hi, and it will actually use you saying that. So for the first part of the video, it will be, so it looks like it's an individual video to that individual. It's pretty clever.
Very exciting, very clever from a small to medium business perspective. This is exciting tech that you can utilize within your business. Rochelle, when you work with someone, what's the process for people working with you?
So it depends what they are looking for, to be honest. So like I've got like a free course of how to build a website. So if people want to do that themselves, they can do that. And it's also good resources for people that are trying to do that themselves. But say somebody wants a website built, well, we have a discussion about what they require, what their vision is, if they've seen other websites they like certain aspects of, and we work one-on-one to get exactly what they want and need for their business. And then we gather all that information, and then we build and the process goes along. So, but with AI and things like that, I'm sort of learning all that now. So I'm sharing that, trying to start to share that online so people can do that and learn for themselves as well.
Absolutely. And of course, as you know, Rochelle, Everyday Women's Network is a big piece of tech. It's a big platform. And it has a whole range of things built in it so that people can watch what they want to watch via search, via live, via video on demand. And I wouldn't be able to run a global TV network from my home office if it wasn't for tech.
No.
I wouldn't be able to connect women globally if it wasn't for the tech. And as Rochelle is part of Everyday Women's Network family, she's starting to understand what that tech looks like within our business. And I know too, Rochelle, that you're starting to do some events for people. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I thought with this AI, like, it is quite overwhelming. So I'm trying not to let myself get overwhelmed, but also to simplify it and just show a few tools and things that people can do. And so I'm just going to start a monthly Facebook Live. The next one's on the 27th. It'll be linked in my Facebook page at Oh She Did if you would like to join. And just so the first one is, which is on the 27th, is just to go through what AI is and some of the tools and things that are out there, just sort of more an overview of what it's available. And then as the months go on, I'll probably go more in depth into a couple different topics and things like that people could use, because I don't think people realize that it's actually not that expensive. Like, a lot of these apps are not.
They're not
thousands of dollars. They might be $15, $20 a month, this sort of thing, depending what you need. And if you could spend 20, even if it's US dollars, whatever, per month, and it could save you a few hours, well, that's good economics to me.
Economics. And the other thing is too, there's a lot of developers developing apps, and I'm part of a group called AppSumo, which promotes apps from across the globe. They often have lifetime specials. And if you grab one of those lifetime specials, as they grow and upgrade and change and get better, you get access to all that, and you've only ever paid one payment. So we discovered a little product called Feed Hive, which automatically schedules and posts to our socials. Lifetime, I think we paid $59. It's invaluable because we have approximately 20 social media accounts that we run and look after and need to post to. And Feed Hively has them all in one place where we can map, schedule, and plan out the social media. And so that's the world that Rochelle works in. That's the world that she helps small business get into, to understand, to set up. She does all of that. So, Rochelle, I'm curious to know, when you look into the future, what do you see? What's the vision and what's next?
So I love helping people one-on-one, but I also love teaching people, and one-on-one is quite limited. I'm quite keen to share my knowledge worldwide, and part of that's working with Toni, but also through the Women's Network, but also looking at things such as a membership. So like there'd be a monthly fee, and each month I share more information about tech and everything. So people can go there instead of getting overwhelmed with the hundreds and hundreds and thousands of products online. Each month, just learn something new about getting your business online, or online tools and tech. So I haven't exactly mapped out how that all fits together yet, but that is my plan. And the other thing that I'm working on is actually a book.
Oh,
and this scares me, but I've been doing it. And the outline is roughly that quote is a key factor, and it's my experience of travel stories mixed with how you can learn from those travel stories in running your business, and how the analogies between the two work. So that's something that I have running in the background.
I love that. I was late to the travel bug because I had my children young, and so I didn't start doing much travel into my 40s, and now into my 50s, and I love what travel brings to you as a person. Seeing other cultures, interacting with other people. And yes, I totally agree with Rochelle that there are synergies between business and travel that are just amazing. And I understand why travel is so integrated into many, many businesses, either traveling for business, for retreats, for knowledge, for clients, whatever it is. It integrates so well. Rochelle, if there are small businesses listening today, and there will be, or people thinking about going into business, or people wanting to automate business, you can essentially take away that overwhelm from them by understanding what their business does and how they do it, and what elements of the business that they might want to automate or have tech assist them with. You can take away that overwhelm, can't you?
Yeah, so I offer like a consulting service. So in my corporate life, part of my IT job was mapping manual processes and trying to get those answers out of people's minds, and mapping that process out and then automating it.
Yes.
As businesses grow, you can't just have it in one or two people's minds because succession planning, all sorts of reasons.
Yes.
But and I guess I can do that the same with my business. Like I can sit down with you, you can explain about your business and where you don't like doing things and where you do, and the processes and systems, and then we can work out a bit of a plan and some options. And of course, we don't need to implement everything straight away. You just start with one item. Yeah. Okay, I'm overwhelmed with this. Let's work on that and move through there. And whether that's just purely a consulting to help people get a direction, or whether that then also includes
helps them with the implementation. And some of the simplest things have such a monumental impact. So I remember back when I first started, we didn't have a calendar booking system, and it was one of the first pieces of tech that we implemented in the business. And I would be lost without it now. But back then I didn't understand how much better it made my life having a link that you send people and go, I would love to chat. Here's my calendar link. Please book a time that suits you. It took away all the backwards and forwards of trying to coordinate times across the globe, which is challenging. And so now you have take Calendly, for instance, which lots of people would have heard of, but it not only integrates with a Google Calendar, but it allows you to book across international time zones because they will see available appointment times in their own time. So I can be in Australia talking to someone in the UK, to Canada, to the US, and it will be in a time that is good for me and it's good for them. That little simple piece of tech is a game changer. And you would know that as well, Rochelle, that sometimes it's just a little piece of tech that doesn't even cost very much, but it has a huge benefit for the particular business.
And Calendly, I like its simplicity. It's just, it doesn't try and be anything else. Like some of these other platforms try and be all and do everything, but Calendly does its job well, and it actually links into many, many products.
It does. It's really very good. And as you get a bit more advanced, and that's what we did too, we then added, follow-up emails, and because I wanted to be nice to people. If they'd spent time with me, I wanted to write after the appointment, say, thank you so much for spending time. It allows you to do those things, which is good for the world and good for your business, isn't it?
It is. And it's part of the automation and the things that, like.
And automation,
so when this happens, do
amazing.
This.
Yes.
When this happens, do this.
Because and you don't have to be thinking about that. You don't have to hold that in your brain. You can actually allow tech. And I remember a friend of mine saying, but don't you worry that it will fall over? Well, actually, I don't worry that it will fall over. And Rochelle, I'm sure you can talk to this as well. There's very little, if it's set up correctly, there's little bits and pieces that you have to do and tweak, but it doesn't often fall over, does it?
No, and I think that's the least of your worries in your business. Like, if 99.9% of the time it works, like, I'm all for it. Like,
definitely,
it's very rare.
Yeah, I would agree that that's been my experience too. That it's very rare that it falls over. Most of the time, it functions really well, really beautifully, and it makes a huge difference. I know. And that's why you have people like Rochelle who can go, oh, okay, so, right, let me fix that. Sometimes it takes, a couple of minutes and it's fixed and off you go again. Rochelle Werrett, thank you for talking to us today on the Everyday Business Show about She Did and how you consult and help businesses automate and use tech to their advantage. I want you to give a big shout out for your website because I love your website. It's so simple and beautiful. Tell the audience where they can connect with you.
Okay, my website is it's up on the corner here, oshedid.com. And you can contact me through there. There's a link to my calendar. There should be a link to my free courses. There's also some PDF documents and freebies and things you can buy to help yourself along the way. And also remember to go follow me on socials, Facebook at She Did, and on Instagram it's o.she.did, just to be different. And I'm putting a few videos up on YouTube at the moment as well, so I started a channel there, but links to all that should be from my website as well.
Absolutely.
And on the
sorry, you go.
And on the 27th of this month, on Monday, it'll be linked at the top of my Facebook page. Come and join and learn about AI.
Fantastic. And if you've missed any of those links that Rochelle's just talked about, they will be attached to this interview wherever you are watching. So thank you. You've been listening to Rochelle Werrett from She Did, who is in a consultant capacity and can help you with your tech, AI, and automation in your business. And she loves to chat to people about what they're doing and what problems they need to solve in their business and how tech can assist them to do that easily, simply, and cost effectively. Rochelle Werrett, thank you so much for being on the Everyday Business Show today.
Thank you, Toni, very much for having me.
It's my pleasure. And that, my friends, is your lot for this week. We'll be back next week talking to another amazing business owner about what they do and how they do things in their business. Bye for now.
Bye.
Of shows with business owners that puts them in front of a global audience, and in behind those shows is a whole range of things, from digital magazines to social media to blogging to email to lead generation, just a whole range of things.